Hi! Thank you so much for joining me for your Written in the Stars January 2017 Horoscope. If we haven't met before, my name is Madeline and I'm really glad that you decided to join me. And if you're back, hello again and thank you. I will be doing your January Horoscope spread to tell you all about what's coming up for you this month, followed by a second spread called my Fiercely Focused spread, where I will give you pretty much an overarching theme for your month and some really specific action steps you can take to really capitalize on the momentum of the beginning of your year and really kind of avoid any pitfalls and just really make the best of what's coming to you, because that is what tarot is all about. I hope that you will find and follow me on social media if you're into that. I've linked all of my accounts below: Instagram, Facebook, all the things. And if you like this video, I hope that you will like it and subscribe, because I would love to hear more from you. And please let me know what you think in the comments, because I would love, love, love to know what resonated, what rang bells, what really didn't ring bells. Totally into it. Totally love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you have a very happy new year. This used to light up and be way dorkier, and that would have been more fun for you. But you know, either way, I get to fedora bomb you for January. But I'm glad that you decided to join me, and I hope that you will really enjoy your Horoscope and find it very empowering and insightful for you in January. And without further ado, on to your January Horoscope. Hey Pisces! Thank you so much for tuning in for your January 2017 Horoscope. I'm very excited to see how you're kicking off the new year. All right. Starting off appropriately with cups. Woo! Pisces. Spirit is ready to talk for you. Okay. Pisces, January 2017. And Pisces, you will see me turning over what come in as quote-unquote reversed or upside down cards. And if you haven't had a reading with me before, I will just let you know that I read intuitively, meaning that I listen to what Spirit has to say about the image on the card or the impressions that they give me, much more so than I listen to whether they come in upside down or not. I read, again, intuitively, and so I do not see reversed as arbitrarily bad or a muted version of the energy. If Spirit is telling me that there is a perversion or an alteration of the energy, they definitely do show me that and speak about that. So I will definitely share that with you if I see that here. But I do turn them right side up, really more so that you can see the images, and your own intuition and higher self and guides can speak for you as well, in addition to what I'm receiving from Spirit and what you're receiving from me. Okay, Pisces, January 2017. Pisces, January. Pisces, wow, okay. January 2017. Alrighty, Pisces. You're definitely going with the flow. As is your way. Okay. Okay, Pisces, so there's definitely a sense in January that you can kind of look back at all the work that you've done and what you've managed to assemble over 2016, and you can kind of look back at it with some you can do a little bit of marveling. You can do a little bit of being very proud of yourself and being very content with the progress that you've made. Now, don't let that contentment become resting on your laurels. That's certainly not a place that you want to go, but you definitely do want to acknowledge how far you've come, because that is a necessary part of the journey in order especially to spur yourself on to ever greater heights, which are definitely available for you in January. Especially the more you're willing to kind of cut out the stuff that's not working for you so you have more room for your inspiration. Okay, so going with the flow, there is a reunion or a happy meeting coming for you in January 2017. I feel like there's a really great meeting of the minds and hearts coming up for you in January 2017. There is a connection that you're going to make that makes you feel free. I really want to say I really want to say that it's almost like this person is granting you an invitation into like the Garden of Eden. Like, I know that that's a very weird and specific image to give, but Spirit is talking about, it's kind of like the forbidden fruit, the like apple of knowledge, but it's like the reverse. It's kind of like the entrance to paradise. And Spirit is making me feel like for some of you, like, don't be naive, but definitely do be optimistic. If this person seems to be real and reliable, I feel like for a lot of you, this invitation is very good, is very real. Like, there's a real potential for exchange and flow here. Like, they may have talents and awarenesses that you don't have and vice versa. Like, this could be a very complementary relationship that is very fortuitous and very much like, I feel like, harmonious, because you do have a tendency to sometimes get taken advantage of, Pisces. Maybe you pour in a little more than you need to, and maybe oftentimes even some people take out more than they should from you. And I feel like this person is very into giving back. I feel like they very much appreciate who you are, and they appreciate your talents, and vice versa. So I feel like there's kind of like a budding relationship or a reunion happening there that is going to be like a really affirming experience. So you're definitely going to also experience some more abundance in January, and I feel like that's emotional and financial, which is really nice to see. You've got the Empress here for like luxury and enjoyment. Oh, here comes Derpy. Derpy wants to see your cards. Maybe she has Pisces rising. I don't know her birth time, so I couldn't tell you. That's very shameful of me as an astrologer. Kitty, you do not want to be jumping over that wire. No, or messing with my rocks. You know, in the spirit of Pisces, I'm being very patient with her, but she knows she's not allowed up here with the cards. Come on. Come on, honey. I love you too. I love you too, and you're super cute, but you need to go. You need to go. Love you. Okay. Pardon me, Pisces. Okay. So there's this abundance, like I was saying, and this possibility for even like luxury and just pure sensual pleasure coming up for you in January 2017. And Spirit is definitely also saying that for some of you, there is the chance of a pregnancy. There is the chance of a cat coming into your reading and meshing with your stones. Stop it. I don't know if you can see her paw like jumping. Nope. Why? Why, kitty? Okay. Kitty. You're a bad kitty. No, kitty, that's a bad kitty. Okay, so this abundance and this luxury, this is Venusian. This is Venus stuff. This isn't stuff that you have to like go out and really fight for and work really hard for. In this case, it's a matter of kind of like, if you build it, they will come. Like, really. You have something to offer that is so glorious and so beautiful that it's kind of like, if you just put it out there that it exists, people will come and get it from you. What you do and make and create, what your natural talent is, Pisces, is very much in demand. And when I said that like there's abundance and financial abundance, here are your cards for change in income and like having more than enough, financially speaking. Enough to support your family, enough for your future, enough to like have a legacy and a savings account and like an emergency fund and all the things that you would like to have in order to really feel like you can relax and have fun in life. Because even you, Pisces, even go with the flow, Pisces, like security and money is important to you, because then you really do feel like you can be free when there's that sense of like, okay, I'm always safe. I can really swim and move around when I know what the borders are, right? Okay. So January 2017, it's a beautiful month for you, Pisces. But it is also a transformative month, and that comes with a little bit of change, and change is a little hard for all of us. And you are a mutable sign. You are adaptable. You are changeable, and you can move with the circumstances around you. But you can also be a little bit morose, and so change can come hard and a little bit slow at times. I do feel like you have been kind of dragging out a situation, an emotional situation, that you've been feeling like you need to cut off and you haven't been willing to. And these are general readings, Pisces, so I'm not accusing every single one of you of necessarily doing this. Again, like, some of these messages will resonate and some of them will not, and they are resonating with other Pisces, sun, moon, and rising elsewhere, ideally. But for some of you, it's like you've been dragging it out, and why are you beating this dead horse when you just need to put it to death? When it's time to just say goodbye and put this problem, this battle in the past and leave it behind you. Turn and walk away. This situation that you've been investing time and energy and thought into, and you just feel like you've been repeatedly stabbed in the back, or just basically like shot down for all of that work and all of that thought and all of that negotiation. Like, Spirit is talking about diplomacy, kind of like you've either been trying to convince people to think differently, or even acting like as a liaison in some cases, some of you. Like, let that go. Let it go. It's not doing you any favors, and your energy is going to be better spent on cultivating your own life. So I honestly feel like don't fight any battles this month. Like, they're all losing battles this month. If it's taking you off your path, Pisces, if it's in any way derailing you from what you really know is like good for you and healthy for you, and is really enhancing your self-efficacy and your sense of like direction and safety and security and empowerment, like, then leave it behind, let it go. Even if it's just like, I don't want to tell this person to get out of my life, don't engage them this month. This is not the month to like do that dance with them, even if they want to keep beating the dead horse and you're not quite ready to let it go. Like, there's no judgment, Pisces, like from me or from Spirit. Like, you keep beating that dead horse as long as you want to. Spirit only speaks for your highest good, though, and says that, well, when you're done beating that dead horse, when you're willing to drop stuff that is not good for you anymore and that you don't need to be carrying, you're going to feel like a boss. And you're going to feel like a visionary. And it is only in cutting off the crap that's not working and really narrowing your focus on, instead of, 7 things, I'm going to pick these 3. And this is what I'm going to go for. Because if I throw my energy into all these different directions and toward all these different people, indiscriminate of whether or not they're good to me, and that there's like a return on interest for my energetic and emotional investment. Like, I'm not trying to be cold and clinical, Pisces. Like, I know you're the sign of sacrifice. I know you're willing to go above and beyond. And I only say that it's okay to cut these things off because I know that about you. I know that you're not turning tail and running at the first sign of somebody needing more from you than they're willing to give. I know that you're willing to give them the benefit of the doubt and say, you know what, they're having a hard time this month, so they're asking me for a lot. But if they've been having a hard time this decade and they just keep expecting you for 10 years later to keep doing and doing and doing and doing what you do, and they keep doing what they do, it's time to detach from that and cut that off and walk away from that, even if it's just mentally and you're just like resolving to yourself that you're done with that. Be done with it. January is a month of empowerment for you, and a time of future vision. It's a time to see how your plans are coming into fruition, like what you can see now and what that means projected down the road for you. What does this mean for 3 years from now? If things were to continue in the fashion that they are in this moment, better or worse, whatever, whether they're positive or negative, what are the results in 3 years? What are the extrapolated results of you, for example, continuing to shoulder this burden and beat this dead horse? What if you keep doing that for 3 years? What will your life look like? Okay, now what if you cut it off? What will your life look like in 3 years if you cut off that situation that is just kind of draining you? There's your answer, Pisces. That's what you want. Which one do you want? Which future do you want? Go ahead, pick it. Do the action that follows with it. That's all there is to it. It's not a matter of being a bad or a good person. It's a matter of, like, that doesn't, and by that I mean that doesn't make you a bad person. That is a matter of, if I do right by myself, I am better able to do right by everything and everyone else in my life that is really valuable and matters to me. So invest in yourself first, Pisces, and then you will have much more to invest, and you will also make better choices about whom and what to invest in. Okay, so now let's look at your fiercely focused spread. I do like bump in income and the bump in like emotional support you've got for this month. But let's see what kind of themes Spirit wants you to know about. Okay. Starting here with the main sort of overarching theme that Spirit wants you to be aware of. Judgment. Making that big decision. Making that call that maybe isn't easy to make. I'm going to come in just a little closer now, Pisces, so you can see these a little better now that we've got fewer cards here. Okay, so this is commitment. This is bring yourself to life. This is coming back from the dead, Pisces, by making like a big, massive decision. For some people, like, when I say massive, I mean like life-changing. I mean, like, for some people, it's quitting a job or taking a job or leaving a marriage or beginning a marriage. Like, this is pivotal stuff. This is like, wake up and smell the coffee. And Pisces, you are an intuitive soul. I feel like you know what this is. You know what the judgment is that you need to make, the choice that you need to make that is really going to bring you back from the dead and bring you to life. And Spirit is saying be vocal, be honest. Be honest with yourself, and then be honest with the people that you need to be allowed. And that is going to change your life in the best way. Like, that is going to, like, knock down walls and bring about a new landscape, a new opportunity. Wow. Okay. So now let's see what you need to be doing in the physical and financial realm of your life. What kind of action steps Pisces needs to take in January. Plan your work and work your plan, Pisces. A lot of people would accuse you of being a little bit flibbertigibbet, a little bit lackadaisical, all those fun words to say, a little bit lax, a little bit even like lazy or too go with the flow, like passive to a fault. But the truth is, a lot of you have a tremendous work ethic. A lot of you have a vision so big that it drives you to have that work ethic, even if you are a naturally like loose and yin kind of person, a kind of passive person, or kind of like you enjoy sleeping, you enjoy relaxing and having a drink and just chilling, Pisces. But you also really like feeling like you are in the mix, feeling like you are causing change and good things in the world and making an emotional investment even in other people. And I feel like specifically, if you are willing to work out the steps to get where you want to be, and you really start putting some real like pen to paper and then hand to God, like, but no, really making that commitment to yourself that this is my plan and I'm going to see it through no matter what the hills and valleys are, and that I know that there's going to be a dip coming, and that I'm remaining even throughout that dip is not going to be an indication to me that I have failed. And I recognize that failure is on the road to success. It's not on a different road. It doesn't mean I'm off path. It means that I learned something and that now I can go forward armed with a little more knowledge. And I feel like specifically Spirit also wants to say that a lot of you are going to achieve mastery at something in 2017 that you've been wanting to master for a long time. Like right now, you're still the apprentice, but you're really getting there. You're getting there to where you're going to feel like you're kind of among the like ascended masters of the world that you want to work in. Wow. Okay. So I'm shuffling cards here off camera for the mental aspect of your life, and you may have seen this one float and hit the ground. Okay. So mentally, Pisces, there is a little bit of heartache. There's a little bit of like that separation, that beating of the dead horse and having to leave it behind. It's hard. Just because it is a dead horse that you're beating, and just because it is kind of like dragging you down, even if making this decision and detaching from something will bring you back to life, it doesn't make it easy. Especially for someone as empathic as you are. Separating yourself from people and things that are not serving you can feel like you're doing the betraying, and then you feel guilty. Spirit really wants to reassure you, Pisces, that, again, to take care of yourself and love yourself first is not a betrayal to others. In fact, if you feel like you have to turn your back on someone, ask yourself, is it because they betrayed you first? Is it because they first turned their back on you and it's like you only have so many cheeks that you can turn, and that at some point it just becomes abuse, and actually you could be like, you could actually be doing the person a disservice by hanging around and letting them do this to you, because they're not learning their lesson from that either. Both of you are meant to learn a lesson from your detaching from this. Yours is like, I'm worth more than this. I'm more valuable than this. And theirs is, hey, maybe I shouldn't treat really important people and things like they're nothing. Okay? So this is your permission to lovingly detach and send people on with like love and light and best wishes, and kind of dust your hands off and know that, you know what, Pisces, if they're meant to come back into your life and if they're meant to make amends, or if they're meant to change, they're going to do that, and they will come to you on their terms. So don't beat that dead horse or feel like you need to hang around. And again, make whatever decision that you like, but it is certainly not necessary for you to keep beating that dead horse for things to go right, for things to go in a better direction. In fact, it may be what keeps it from going in a better direction if you keep doing the same thing over and over. Okay, so now let's look at what really sets your heart on fire. What is lighting you up creatively and or spiritually in January 2017, Pisces? Ooh. Got two. I don't always do this, Pisces, but you got these two, so we're going for it. Okay, the Ace of Wands and the Page of Wands. Very interesting, very interesting. So you're definitely inspired in January, and you want to send the word out. You want to tell everybody about this idea of yours, but actually Spirit is saying, really be enthusiastic, but it's not to be shared yet. Like, this is something that is like, if you're going to share it with a select few. Don't put it out there prematurely, especially during Mercury retrograde. Oh my gosh, Pisces. Like, Mercury retrograde ends on January 8th, but then it will be in its shadow for a couple of weeks after that. So really toward the end of January is when, if you want to get the word out about something, that's really going to be the better time. Give it a little more time to like marinate, to coalesce. And I think you'll be happier with the results if you wait, is what Spirit is saying. And it's funny because this is a card of like inspiration and action and wonderfulness. And all of that is true. It's just that I feel like it needs a little bit more time to brew. That was an unintentional rhyme. But really, something is percolating. And if you give it a little more time before you send out the message, you're going to get it out a lot better and clearer and get a much better response. That is what Spirit is saying. Okay. And now, let's see what's going on with you, Pisces, emotionally. How will you be feeling and relating in January 2017? Wow. Okay, same card, different deck. It's all about focus. It's all about focus for you in January 2017, Pisces. You're capable of so much, but not everything. Nobody is capable of everything. So instead of putting 7 things on your plate in January, put 2. Okay? Complete 2 really important, pivotal things that really fill you with joy or really move your life forward. You will be happier by the end of January 17, and then you're going to have the momentum and the initiative and the motivation to keep doing. Whereas if you take on 7 things, even if you manage to complete them to the best of your ability, you're going to run yourself ragged. And it is not going to feel fun. You're not going to associate fun with getting all that stuff done. You're going to associate exhaustion with getting all that stuff done. So really make sure that your plate is full, but full of the things that matter and not just full for the sake of being full. Does that make sense, Pisces? You're such a giver. So make sure that you're not loading it up with like all pro bono and then you don't have enough money to pay your bills. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, make sure that, again, the energetic and resource and money investments that you're making, that they do have returns. That's not selfish. That is sustainable. You cannot live an unsustainable life of pure sacrifice. And again, that's really not serving the people who you're doing the sacrificing for in the end, because it's best for them to learn that when you receive, you give, and vice versa, that it's supposed to go around, it's supposed to be a circle. So allow people to give back to you and allow for there to be returns for your emotional and energetic investments, Pisces. They're coming for you in January, but again, they come very much in correlation and commensurate to the focus that you give them. So really put your love and your energy into what you really want to see the most returns on. And be choosy. And I feel like when you're choosy, you will be chosen, Pisces. I hope that you will tune in another week when your 2017 year ahead spread will be available. That one is going to be pretty epic, so it's taking me a little time to get it done. But I hope I will see you then, Pisces, because I would love to see where this judgment is really taking you. Like what road is this taking you down? Because January 2017 is pretty pivotal for you. Like 2018 is going to look quite different, I think. So it'll be cool to see what your trajectory looks like in 2017. Thank you so much again for listening. I hope that you find your reading really helpful and that it guides you very well through the rest of the month. And I hope that you will come tune in again to this channel in a couple of weeks when your full-on 2017 year ahead forecast will be available, because woof, that's going to be a doozy. I'm excited to do that for you. And I'm wishing you a really wonderful, happy new year. I hope that, again, if you liked this, you will comment and subscribe and let me know what you thought, or find me on social media and hit me up there, because I would love to hear from you. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope to see you in February. Bye-bye.